Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Miami Total Football Radio, the show a night after Inter Miami wins its first ever Supporters Shield. A nice night for Inter Miami and its fans. We will talk about that. Of course, if you're listening or if you're watching, I am Franco Panizo, your usual co-host. We only have one of the other two usual co-hosts. Jose Armando is, I don't know, I think he's hiding because he did say at the start of the year that Inter Miami would win 0 trophies in 2024. No, I'm just kidding. He's actually on other work duties, so he couldn't make it today. I promise you he's not ducking the criticism and the crow that he has to eat. But don't worry, we will get to it. We will get to him maybe next week, but we'll get to him. Joining us, of course, as you guys can see and as you will hear, is Andrea Yanes, a.k.a. Afisita, here on Miami Total Football Radio, the show. Andrea, I see you all smirking. I hope that's just because Inter Miami won the Supporter Shield, or is it because you're ready to face the music? You're going to stand on trial here and offer a mea culpa because you also were not very kind of Inter Miami's chances against the Columbus Crew going into this.
Yes. I wasn't 100% convinced that they could do it. They did it, not without any drama. So I was kind of right? But we're gonna talk about this in the show. But I am happy for Inter Miami fans that they can enjoy this shield. But let's not lie, Franco. You have said 1,000 times in this podcast that this isn't an important title. So.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Don't be saying that this is just if they won the league, right? So let's be real.
Tirando dardos because she's on full defense mode. All right.
And no. I want to clarify. I'm gonna keep my microphone. That I am wearing something pink. It doesn't show, but it's because of that. It's not because Inter Miami won.
Yeah. Andrea trying to get back in the good graces of the Inter Miami faithful after being very
No, but I am very happy for Inter Miami fans because they were waiting for a moment like this, even though we've talked about that Supporter Shield and that at the end of the year, it doesn't mean anything if you don't win the title, right? But it made fans happy, and listen, winning in the way that Inter Miami did, dramatic, is those are the type of wins that you remember. That you remember when you're a fan of a team, that you remember for years, because it was not easy and it was a very dramatic match. So Inter Miami fans, I bet, really enjoyed that. And we're going to talk about the match, and we're going to talk about that. And people, but analyzing the match right now is secondary because they got their first step in their season, the only step that was left, and they made it. So it's a positive thing for the team.
We will get to all of the things you mentioned. We'll also give you another chance to properly apologize without throwing darts at me for no reason. But we'll get there because...
Well, I'm not going to apologize because this is not MLS Cup.
It's late
when
on
they win
Thursday
MLS
night.
Cup, I'm going to apologize. Like I already said, if DC United wins, I'm going to cut my hair. When Inter Miami wins the MLS Cup, I'm going to apologize to Inter Miami fans.
No.
I didn't believe the team would be able to.
Late on Thursday. It is late on Thursday. We've got the comment section full of people chiming in, and we will not disappoint them because part of the pitch for tonight's show is that you will face the music, Andrita. You will. You're going to have to do it for you and Jose. He's not here, but we'll get there. Because we've got a lot to talk about. We have behind-the-scenes footage of Inter Miami's post-game celebration. And that's where we're going to start because Inter Miami defeated the Columbus Crew in the third to last game of the regular season up in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. 3-2 victory. That seals it for Inter Miami. They are your 2024 MLS Cup, not MLS Cup, the MLS Supporter Shield champions or winners, however you want to label
winners,
it.
I think would be the
shirts. The official shirts they were wearing said winners. It doesn't say champions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whatever. They celebrated as if it was a championship. It's a trophy. It's a trophy they get to add to the cabinet. Trophy they did not have before, so that makes it a little more significant.
I
But we're
think the
gonna get
rival makes it a little bit more significant. I think the way that they won it makes it a little bit more significant. Still not 100% significant because we already talked. I have already stated my opinion a lot of times, and you have also about the supporter shield.
We will
But
get there, Andrea. Let's get to some footage. Let's get to some locker room behind the scenes footage of how Inter Miami began their post game celebrations after their thrilling, exhilarating 3-2 victory over the Columbus Crew.
I think that last picture of the Fantastic Four is the one that has made the rounds all over the world because it's them four, right? But
pretty exciting scenes, pretty excited, pretty joyful, jubilant, festive, imágenes felices for a team that obviously still has a bigger goal to achieve, but the first step in terms of the MLS season is crossed off. They won the Supporter Shield. That is one trophy that they can cross off. Now, like you said, MLS Cup is the main goal. We know that. We will talk about that more later on. But we're going to focus on this game and the accomplishment of Wednesday night because it is a culmination of a lot of good work done over the course of the 2024 season by a lot of different protagonists. So there's a lot to talk about. And of course, we have to start with who else but the Magic Man, Lionel Messi, with a very, very significant brace, a memorable brace in this game. The way, especially the second goal, the way he took that free kick, gives Inter Miami a 2-0 lead in the halftime. In a game that, well, in the first half, they didn't play particularly well. Tata Martino, after the game, called it un primer tiempo aceptable, an acceptable first half. But they didn't play that well. But Messi, with 2 moments of magic, and there were other contributing factors there, including Jordi Alba's great ball over the top, Luis Suarez astutely drawing a foul. I can't wait to hear this. I can't wait to hear this from him. But nonetheless, Messi is the man who puts the team on his back and gives
Messi is the difference maker. Messi is the difference maker.
Definitely.
Look, listen, the first goal, a Jordi Alba ball, they have done that 1,000 times. Some Columbus fans were arguing a handball. I didn't see it. The truth is that if you don't have a clear image of that ball hitting his hand, the goal cannot be disallowed, and they didn't have that, and that's why the goal stood. Then in the free kick, Messi is very intelligent. He's a man of experience, and he saw Columbus Crew made a big mistake. The goalkeeper and the Los Hombres de la Barrera didn't form well, and he took advantage of that because he hit the ball and he crossed it on the side of how do you say barrera in English? The wall, yeah, across the wall. So, but for me personally, that wasn't a free kick. That wasn't a foul on Luis Suarez. That was a little bit of theatrics by Luis Suarez. And listen, I understand people that can feel that Inter Miami gets those fouls called, but well, the referee said it was a foul. You cannot check that.
It was a foul, Andrea. It was a foul. It was a clear foul. Now, did he embellish it to earn the call? Absolutely, but it was definitely a foul.
Okay. Well.
The ball was in front of him. He puts himself in front of the ball, so he's between the ball and the defender.
That's a foul, and Busquets is not a foul. Not even a yellow card.
Oh, here we go. Look, hey, we can talk about that as well.
I'm asking you. That's why I asked you. The thing is that, Franco, the thing is that you don't have this. You act partial to Inter Miami because you don't judge the same, because you're saying now that it was a foul, but Luis Suarez embellished. So when a play, what does the rule say? Tell me, what does the rule say? When a player falls down fingiendo una falta,
no lo
it's
fingió.
not a
No,
foul.
he didn't. But he's not faking that there's a foul. There is a foul. He's just embellishing it. It's not the same as faking it. You can't just crash through the.
If you embellish a foul, you don't get it called, Franco, and it is what it is, and it's the truth. If that was
any different?
Farsi got almost killed by Busquets, and they didn't even call a foul, and not even a yellow card.
Andrea,
you can understand the double standard.
You had some doozies. You had some doozies on Twitter in that first half, including just get it out there, Andrea. Get it out there right now.
Yes, it should be a card for Busquets.
Andrea thought that Sergio Busquets should have been red carded for his clearance of the ball. He gets to the ball first. He gets to the ball first, Andrea.
Read. I'm going to tell you something. You have to read the rules, man. Read the rules. If you don't read the rules, you don't understand them.
Read them for me.
Read the rules. Read the rules.
Read them for me. No, see,
when you go con los tachones de frente, it's always juego violento, and you get carded.
He was playing the ball, not the man.
Yellow card. It doesn't matter. In a violent foul, it doesn't matter, Franco.
No.
Yes.
No.
It doesn't
absolutely
matter.
Not.
Yes.
Did you hear Columbus complain about that after the game? No. Rudy Camacho went studs up on a challenge. Sergio Busquets was trying to clear the ball. He wasn't tackling the player. He went to clear the ball. But anyway, that's beside the point.
But you see, the thing is that you are not fair, because now you say that Luis Suarez is embellished. So when you embellish, it shouldn't be a foul. It shouldn't.
Andrea, it's no different than when the players go to the corner with the ball at their feet to try to kill the remaining time in the dying seconds, and the defenders try to scramble, and they knock them over. Could Suarez have held his ground? Is Suarez strong enough to be like, take that contact and hold?
Tell me, does that get called on the other half?
Of course.
Does that get called?
Of course.
I don't think so.
Little ticky-tack fouls get called all over the field. And there long balls over the top where the striker's holding the center back off. Center back gets called for the foul all the time. Same thing. You go to the corner flag, you hold the ball to try to kill some
and
clock.
Then that's the problem.
You fall
when
down.
You analyze the game, you have to be fair with everything. You have to be fair. As I said, Columbus fans were arguing that Messi hit the ball with his hand. You couldn't prove that. It wasn't clear, so the goal cannot be disallowed. Those are facts. According to the rules. Don't hate on me just because I am saying what is happening according to the rules. And the referee was bad because Sergio Busquets should have been carded. Federico Redondo should have been carded. The referee los perdonó. That's a fact, Franco. Of course it is.
That's an opinion.
Yes.
That's an opinion. It's not a fact. It's not a fact.
It's a fact. It's a fact. But that doesn't take on the Messi having the experience that he has. The goalkeeper has a lot of responsibility on the goal, and the wall has a lot of responsibility on the goal. Messi saw it and took advantage of it, and that's why Inter Miami was winning 2-0 after the first half was done, even though they didn't play the best first half.
They did not play well, but Messi, even though he didn't play
the difference. No,
he didn't play well.
Have anything before that, but he only needed 2 plays. That's the difference for Inter Miami. Yes, that's the difference for Inter Miami. But the team didn't function well. The team didn't look good that first half. They didn't look dangerous. They didn't play well. The difference maker, let's be clear, is Lionel Messi. It's a difference maker for this team, and he did what he was supposed to do because he's the leader, he's the captain, and he needed to appear when the team needed him the most, and he did. He took advantage of.
He stepped up in 2
mistakes.
big moments. He stepped up in 2 big moments for Inter Miami, and that again, I've said it since he's returned. He has not played particularly well. He's gotten goals and assists, and if you look just off stats, I mean, if you just look at the numbers, the amount of goals and assists he's produced since he's come back, I mean, it's impressive. It's an impressive haul. But from the run of play, he has not been particularly sharp. He's not been the best. But yet he still finds a way to deliver in key moments. And that is a sign of a tremendous player. And we know that this is not, the first time we've seen Messi do something like this, but it's just a reminder of what he's capable of. And if he can regain his form, his rhythm, and be sharper with the ball from the run of play, then I have no doubt that Inter Miami will win MLS Cup. I have no doubt. If he can get back to being not only the Messi that provides a difference in key moments or can be lethal or can be threatening, but if he can also influence things more in a more positive way from the run of play, then I think Inter Miami is going to cruise to the MLS Cup final, because I don't think there's a team that stands a chance if Messi's on his A game. We saw in the Leagues Cup last year when Messi was, firing on all cylinders, Inter Miami was blowing opposition away. The final against Nashville, it was a little bit tighter. They went to penalty kicks. But overall, during the Leagues Cup, Messi and Inter Miami were miles better than the opposition. I can see that being the case in MLS Cup if Messi gets back to his best. And that's something, look, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. Even Sergio Busquets, we will listen to it. He said this before the game in his pregame interview, talked about Messi not being there at 100% due to the ankle injury, due to the recovery, due to regaining his fitness, his form.
You could see in the photos that they took that he's still wearing.
He's still bandaged. Yes, he's still bandaged.
On his.
But let's listen to Busi. Let's listen to Busi here talking about Messi and how much better he can get going forward.
Y en cuanto a Leo, bueno, al final cuando tienes una lesión de tobillo, yo tuve una al inicio de temporada en el partido de Japón y por mucho que vuelvas cuando te marca, el tobillo necesita su tiempo y te lo notas más rígido en los apoyos, en la fuerza, en todo eso. Y eso está claro que te lo da los partidos, el ir entrenando, la condición física. Y bueno, es un proceso natural que no solo Leo, sino todos los que hemos tenido cosas en el tobillo pasa y así está. Y bueno, yo creo que en cuanto empecemos los playoffs ya estará 100%.
Boosie says that by the time the playoffs roll around, he thinks Messi will be 100%. If that's the case, opposing MLS defenses need to shake in their boots and their cleats and their chimpunes and their whatever you call them in your country, whatever country you're from. There's a bunch of different names for cleats. But yeah, Andrea, what's going on? What are you watching? What are you watching over there?
Nothing.
What are you watching? You're watching. I can see the reflection in your glasses. What are you watching? You watching soccer? You watching baseball? What's going on?
No, I'm not watching anything.
Andrea's trying to shy away. She's trying to shy away from.
No.
She feels the heat. She feels the heat.
No, nothing like that. No, Messi is going to get better each game. We talked about this in last week's podcast, that he needed rhythm, and that's why he was playing 90 minutes, even though people were questioning Tata about it, that if it was too much too soon for Lionel Messi. But he's getting to a rhythm and listening. For me, the reason I criticized Tata Martino's game plan in these times that Messi is back from injury is because even though they won yesterday, they are not playing as good as they did without Messi. Without Messi in Copa America and without Messi when he got injured, they were playing very good in that spell. In those almost 3 months, Inter Miami played the best that we've seen them this year. And even though yesterday Messi saved them, the play in the first half didn't convince me, and neither in the second half. They gave away 2 penalties, and those are the kind of inconsistencies that costs a team a lot. So for me, I agree with you that it's going to depend, the run for MLS Cup, it's going to depend on Messi. And if Messi gets knocked, if Messi gets injured, it's going to be a problem for Inter Miami, right?
Didn't you just say they were playing good without him?
No, that I criticize Tata Martino because he hasn't been able to emulate that kind of play now that Messi is back. That kind of dominance that Inter Miami had in those 3 months has not been emulated in the games that since Messi is back.
That's true.
In Philadelphia, New York, Atlanta, etc., it hasn't been like that. So that's why I criticize Tata Martino.
So I agree with you that the performance levels, el rendimiento, el funcionamiento of the team has not been as good since Messi's return, right? Like the performances, they're not dominating teams with the ball and creating a whole lot of chances and overwhelming the other team. Like, they're grinding through these games. They're finding ways to win, which again is a hallmark, a sign of a very good team. If you can win and you don't play particularly well, that speaks volumes to what you can do if you do play well. So for Inter Miami, these are a lot. There's a lot of positive signs. Can they get better from the run of play? Yes. This is what
They
I
should
told.
get better.
This is what I told Host. This is what I told Host. I don't know if I spoke to you, but I don't believe so. But I think this is what's happening. Inter Miami at the start of the year, their idea was to overwhelm you in the attack, right? Like there was always questions about the defense. But Inter Miami's initial plan when the year started was to, at least when they came to MLS, was to outscore you, right? You're going to score, if you score 2-3 chances against the defense, all right, fine. We're scoring 5-6. We're going to beat you in high-scoring affairs. We're going to blow you out. That was Inter Miami's MO. When Messi was gone for the Copa America and then got injured and then missed more time, Tata Martino had to tweak things. And he became a bit more defensive-minded, which I think has now, with Messi's return, kind of left Tata Martino, who deserves his flowers, by the way, for the work he's done this season. He deserves the flowers. But I think he's gotten a little bit caught in between two minds. Does he want to be that offensive juggernaut team that we saw at the beginning of the year? Or does he want to be this team that is a little bit more tight defensively? I think if you look at the inclusion of Yannick Bright, I think that's the key sign here that Inter Miami is now thinking a little bit more defensively than they were at the start of the year. So that I think that's going to have to figure out what he wants to do.
That's Inter Miami's weakness. That exactly is Inter Miami weakness. Because in a game that Tata Martino doesn't changes too much his tactics now that Messi has come back, instead of maintaining what he had and bringing Messi that should add better play. You saw yesterday, Messi having to come down to the midfield and arguing with Redondo, arguing with Diego Gomez, with Yannick Bright, because that's not the place for Messi to get the ball. For Inter Miami to be a dominating team with Messi, Messi needs to get the ball near the area, like he did when Jordi Alba passed the ball to him. Imagine it had to be Jordi Alba who gave Messi the assist, not the midfield. So that's the problem.
Who's missing
for me.
from that midfield? Who's missing that midfield? Look deeper. Who's
Busquets.
missing?
Busquets is missing on that field.
Now, why is Busquets missing from that midfield?
Because he's playing as a center back, and Tata likes to play with a back five because David Martinez got injured. Since David Martinez injured,
that is the root, and that is going to be very, very key for Inter Miami, for me, going into the playoffs. Again, because can you count on Messi to deliver like he did last night?
Of course, you can count on Messi. Messi is Messi.
But at some point,
if he doesn't get the ball,
you want the collective performance to be good enough so that if he does have an off night,
exactly,
that you can still be in the contest,
get results,
you can still win the game. Exactly. So that's where they need to improve. 100%. 100%. But right now, Busi is playing at center back because of the injuries to David Martinez and obviously before him, Nicolas Freire. Could Tata Martino trot out Noah Allen, Sergei Kristoff, Ian Frey? Again, Thomas Aviles was suspended for this one. Yes. And I think that's going to be a very interesting call from Tata Martino in the playoffs. I think that's a very big decision for him.
Yeah.
Does he get Busi back into that midfield? If he does, where do you put Yannick Bright? He has been raving about Yannick Bright for weeks and weeks. Yesterday in the post-game press conference, I think it was the last question he was asked, the last thing he says, Tata Martino says in Spanish, I don't have the clip. I have a lot of clips. I didn't clip this part. He says the player that stood out, aside from Messi, was Yannick Bright. And then he says, apologies for being redundant, but the player that stood out was Yannick Bright. Hosting it is not here to face the music as well because he's been saying Yannick Bright has to come out.
Let me tell you, I don't agree with Tata with that because it would have been easier for Inter Miami if the tactics were different. I can assure you, if the tactics were different, if Messi had not been coming down and Suarez had not been coming down in the first half to get the ball in the middle of the field, Inter Miami could have won by more goals because Columbus had the ball. In a counter attack, if Messi and Suarez were near the area, Inter Miami would have been a lot more dangerous than they were. And for me, the problem is that is that Yannick Bright does not have that ability like Busquets does to create games. He's very good defensively, yes, 1,000%, but he doesn't have that in him to create game like Busquets does. He doesn't put balls for Messi like Busquets does.
That's
And
true.
Federico
He's not
Redondo
the same
and
type of
Diego
player.
Gomez either. They don't. Federico Redondo and Diego Gomez don't either. So the problem with keeping Yannick Bright in the starting 11 is that you lose that. You lose that connection with Messi and the midfield. So that for me is a problem, because when you see Busquets coming in midfield, you see that Messi and the whole team's level of play is better. And that's because they have chemistry, their history, and they know each other. They don't need anything else to do it. So for me, I know that Tata likes Yannick Bright, but for me, Sergio Busquets would in the midfield would do better for the team and for the.
I'm sorry for laughing, but Jose Armando is in the comments section defending himself.
What is he saying?
He says, hello all. Bright can be a good player off the bench. He will not win you championships. Boosie can do that every day for this team. Jose, we appreciate your comments, but we would have appreciated you more here facing the music, because the people here are chomping at the bit. They've got their pitchforks ready. They've had a few I don't know what drink of choice is for the majority of Inter Miami fans. We'll say cerveza, some beer. So they've had some beer. They're ready to come at you, Jose. They're ready, but you're not here, Jose. You're not here. So we'll have to
listen. Sometimes people, fans, when they are, I've thought about this, and fans when they see stuff and you tell them at first, they are very obcecados, as we say in Spanish. I don't know if you have a word for that in English, because I don't know the translation, but fans are obcecados with their opinions. But then it happens. Listen, I've been in this podcast, I've been called like David Ruiz. I just support him because he's Honduran or whatever, or I just support that and this and that. But it is what it is. Listen, in many times I've been right, many times I've been wrong. But
is this your mea culpa?
What I do
is this your mea culpa, Andrea? Is this the moment we've been waiting for?
No. I just want to say to people that after, like, listen, I was just thinking about it today because we work with the Dolphins, right? We cover the Dolphins also, and I was remembering the time when when Dolphins fans were, oh, Brian Flores deserved to be fired. You're just defending him because you're Honduran. Well, see,
that's true.
See what's happening. See what's happening. I am always going to keep it real. If you don't like my analysis, you don't have to like it. But I am always trying to keep it real. And for me, Yannick Bright is an excellent player. I have said it here 1,000 times. But Inter Miami loses that connection because neither him nor Redondo nor Diego Gomez can pass the ball.
But he's not there to do that. He's not there to be.
Yes, but Inter Miami's play isn't that good because Busquets is not there.
Es cierto.
That's the bottom line.
Pierden football. They lose some football abilities. Right? They lose football abilities without losing them.
Yes, 100%. And for me, that's a mistake.
It's not a mistake. They don't have another center back.
They can play with a back 4-4-3-3. Why don't you play like that?
Andrea, okay. Their performance levels yesterday weren't the greatest.
Yes.
Were the Columbus Crew better than Inter Miami yesterday? Let's ask you that. Was Columbus Crew on the balance of play better than Inter Miami on Wednesday night?
I think they were very equal. So
then there you go. Even without football in the midfield, Inter Miami on the road against the Columbus Crew, a well-oiled machine.
But because of Messi and Columbus played without a man in the other half, they missed a penalty, etc.
So what happened to Columbus in the first half? Because they didn't create a whole lot. I don't remember Drake Callender.
They couldn't convert.
I don't remember Drake Callender making a fantastic save in the first half.
They had opportunities.
And which fantastic save did Drake Callender have to come up with in the first half? It wasn't pretty from Inter Miami, but it was effective. And that's where Tata Martino gets his flowers, because he managed this game well. From a stylistic standpoint, did we like it? No.
Would you be saying, let me ask you something. Would you be saying the same thing if Cucho Hernandez had tied the game?
But he didn't.
You would be saying the same thing?
But he did.
Because I feel like you're talking with the result, and that's an easy way out to analyze football.
The first half was 0-0, right? Messi's magic aside. First half was 0-0. You're Inter Miami on the road against the Columbus Crew, which is a well-oiled machine, which you said Inter Miami would not get past. Is 0-0 a fair result for Inter Miami on the road against the Columbus Crew?
Yeah, but I am asking right now, would you be saying the same thing if Cucho Hernandez had scored? You wouldn't. So you're analyzing that. You're analyzing the game because of the result. That's the difference. I don't do that.
You have to analyze it piece by piece. So
yes, exactly.
First half it's 0-0. Okay, based on the balance of play, pretty even. And then Messi comes up with 2 moments of magic. One where he brings the ball down incredibly, does get a little bit lucky on an attempted clearance that falls right back to him, and then he was able to just, stab the ball home, low roller into the back of the net. The second goal, un tiro libre para agregarlo a sus highlight reel, because that was a fantastic free kick. Maybe the goalkeeper could have done better there in terms of trying to get over, at least make an effort, but
Messi was intelligent because he saw the goalkeeper estaba mal parado, so he took advantage of that. That's his
2-0. All right, 2-0 because of momentos por unas individualidades, right? For individual magic from one player, and that's part of football. Sometimes in games where it's deadlocked, you need one of your difference makers to step up, and in this first half, Messi did that twice. Okay, second half. Inter Miami.
What happens in the second half?
Inter Miami gives up a goal immediately, right? Immediately, because they were caught napping. They just weren't sharp coming out of the halftime. At that point, 2-1, they're just managing the game. They're trying to manage the game, right? And they end up, what happens? They go up a man. Because Rudy Camacho was rightfully sent off for a studs up slide tackle. Was it Fede Redondo? Yes, I think it was Fede Redondo. Rightfully gets sent off, and Inter Miami is up a man, but they give up a penalty kick, right? They give up a penalty kick. I mean, is that on Tata Martino that they gave up a penalty kick? If Noah Allen has his hand raised as the ball gets put in behind, is that on Tata Martino? I mean, everything's under Tata. Falls under Tata Martino, but. That's
it's what's been taught. It's what, yeah, that's what, but you have not answered my question. If Drake Callender didn't save that horrible penalty from Cucho Hernandez, that Drake gets all the merit for because it was a big save, what if Drake didn't save it? You will be talking a different tune right now because they would have tied the game. Right,
but who knows?
And how did they end the game? They ended the game preventing a tie from Columbus, right?
Inter Miami sufrió, but that's because
that's why it was a dramatic game.
Andrea, they were protecting a lead. That's why. If it's even terms with a man advantage, Inter Miami's going to have the ball. Inter Miami's going to be the one attacking. But at 3-2, they're going to defend, even with the man. And Tata Martino talked about that. We'll actually play the clip where he talks about how when they went up a man, they kind of lost sight that they had that man advantage because they were so focused on the final goal, which was getting to the finish line with the lead. And that allowed the Columbus Crew to have more possession, to look more dangerous, and to make Inter Miami suffer, right? It was nail-biting time for Inter Miami. Tuvieron que sufrir to get over the finish line. But they did. And yes, Drake Callender had to come up with not spectacular because the penalty kick was shit. But
yes, that was the worst penalty that I've seen in a long time.
But Drake Callender could have guessed the wrong way, and then it's a tie game. So Drake Callender stepped up when needed to. We'll talk about Drake Callender in a little bit more detail. To me, Tata Martino managed this game well. Columbus Crew is a good team. And they're one of their goals comes off of a penalty kick that comes off of a handball. That was a foolish mistake from one of the young players.
The 2 penalties were handballs.
Correct. The second one didn't turn into a goal. But yes, 2 handballs in the box. Besides that, Columbus Crew weren't. Yes, they had the ball late on, but they were not testing Drake Callender left and right in this game. And for that, Tata Martino deserves his credit. Again, it might not have been the prettiest, but it was effective. Anyway, let's listen to Tata Martino on the game.
Independientemente de eso, creo que hoy ellos se pusieron en partido con jugadas muy raras. En el partido anterior hicieron goles muy bonitos, de buena factura, y hoy me parece que fueron jugadas muy raras, inclusive hasta el penal que atajó Drey también jugada muy rara, de rebote o que le pegan la mano cuando la pelota ya casi se iba afuera. Y nosotros creo que fuimos aceptablemente, hemos jugado el primer tiempo y una parte inicial del segundo también, hasta que, bueno, hasta que esto de tener el objetivo tan cerca nos hizo perder de vista que estábamos jugando con un jugador más y esa superioridad que tuvimos con la posesión de la pelota ante la expulsión de Camacho, los primeros minutos después de la expulsión, la empezamos a perder y ahí había que sufrir. Pero bueno, esto de lograr objetivo tiene momentos de buen juego, momentos de sufrimiento, le pasa a todos los que pueden lograr algo.
Andrea, I will say this to answer your question very directly. Had Cucho Hernandez tied the game up, we don't know how the game would have ended. It could have ended 3-3, or maybe Inter Miami with the man advantage with Suarez with Messi and pushing numbers forward to try to get the win, because losing doesn't really make a difference for them, right? Like they're trying to get the supporters, but losing doesn't really make a difference. They just want to win. So they would have pushed forward. Maybe they get a goal. But that's not how it played out. So we could say what if this and that, but that's not the case here.
Yeah, but I ask you because of that. You miss the whole picture because you think that I am against Tata Martino. I am against his tactics and his tactics. Right now, you're saying it was good because you think they're good because they won the Supporter Shield against Columbus de Visita. But
were they supposed to steamroll Columbus? Were they just supposed to run over Columbus? Is that
no, of course not. We knew it was going to be difficult, but this is more on Messi than on Tata Martino. That's what I'm telling you. It's on Messi than on Tata Martino's tactics. That's what I told you from the beginning. The difference is Messi, Lionel Messi is the difference, not Tata Martino's tactics. If Lionel Messi wasn't present and was a difference maker, Tata Martino's tactics would have lost Inter Miami this game.
But you said that going into the summer when Messi was leaving for Copa America,
that's his merit. I already told you.
But
his merit is making the team not lose games without making the team play well and not lose games without Messi and Luis Suarez. And Diego Gomez. That is his highest point on the season. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to give him a pass when now that Messi's back, the team should be better. It's not.
It should be better, absolutely.
With Columbus with a man down, I expected Inter Miami to score more goals. Why didn't Campana come in earlier? Why were the changes that he made so defensive if Columbus was down in el marcador and down a man? That's why what I want to criticize about Tata Martino and what I don't like his tactics now that Messi's back, because I feel he's desaprovechando an opportunity to be better, for the team to be better. They won, yes, dramatic way, a good way to win, as I said, but it was not pretty, and it was not on him. It was on Lionel Messi. That's just my opinion.
Lionel Messi didn't score the game-winning goal, by the way. That came from Luis Suarez with, probably one of the most simple goals he's going to score in his life.
That is an errorazo. Like,
it's a big mistake.
I'm going to tell you something. Like, Pochettino was watching this game, and he said, like, oh, why did I call Chute as my fourth, and I didn't call Drake Callender? Because the Messi's free kick and the third goal were in responsibility. In conjunction, I would say I would give a secondary assist to Patrick Chute on both goals. But
it's not. I mean, I don't blame.
Like, listen, I'm going to give you an example so that you understand. I'm going to give you an example so that you understand what I mean. Because Columbus went down a man, but Columbus didn't change. They had the ball with Inter Miami having 11 on the field, having Messi and Luis Suarez. And that's on tactics, because if you see the changes that Tata Martino brought in, were not changes to go and get the game.
But they didn't need to go get the game.
Maintain it.
They didn't need to go get the game. Yes, correct.
When they were 3-2?
The changes were to maintain it because they were up a goal.
That's my problem. That's my problem. And that's why people don't like Tata's style. That's the truth.
What? Oh, my goodness. I strongly disagree with that. You got una visita, trompetas fuera. You got the chacal treatment from 10
It is what it is. Let me analyze it. Wilfred Nancy kept his team in, even though they went without a central defender, without a player for the whole second half. they did not tie and did not tie because Cucho Hernandez missed a goal. But if Columbus Crew tied that game, we would be talking about how good Wilfred Nancy is, because Tata Martino had the whole advantage, and all that he did was try to maintain it, try to close the game, not to win for more when you have Messi and Luis Suarez.
So I'm gonna get to that. Jose Armando comes back in the comment section. Cinco, just join us, man. Just join us if you're in here. Why wait until you're
He agrees with me
and not be proactive? Act like a championship team, make the owners money, work the way it's supposed to, and attack. Score the fourth goal and put the game to bed. So I
you have Messi and the Columbus Crew were a man down.
I disagree.
For me, that's no
excuse. In this game, because I don't disagree necessarily with the approach in different circumstances and different games. In this game, Tata Martino handled it how he should have. Inter Miami just needed to protect it. Could they have done better at keeping the ball, like he mentioned in the clip I just shared? Yes, they could have been better at having the ball, but they don't need to take unnecessary risks and push forward recklessly to leave more spaces in behind. So what? Why?
We were winning
3-1.
You had a man more.
This is a matter of style preference. This is what it's coming down.
You have Messi. Your style should be to attack. When LA Galaxy had Zlatan, they scored 5 goals and they received 4, but nobody cared. Inter Miami went and got the 3 goals and didn't look for another one, and they were up a man.
If you want to do a read of the game, si quieres tener lectura del juego, right? This game was asking for Inter Miami to have more possession when they were up a man. It's not about attack.
Yes.
They just need to have more of the ball. Now they didn't. Now, okay,
they didn't. That's what I'm saying.
So explain to me.
Why is that, Franco?
No. Explain to me.
Why is that?
Who on that bench is going to give you more possession? Who on that bench is coming off the bench? It's a possession-based player who's going to help you keep the ball better. Who? Because Sergio Busquets, we already know he's at center back. So who's coming off that bench to give you possession? Nobody. It's not going to be Benjamin Tremaski. It's not going to be your boy David Ruiz. Those aren't possession players. So there is no player to come off the bench to help you improve in your retention of the ball. There just isn't, right? So at that point, yes, did they need to be better with the ball? Absolutely. 100%. Did they need to attack? No, they did not need to attack. They were already winning. You don't need to attack again if you're already winning. There's no away goals here. They need to go find the fourth.
They had a chance to put Columbus to rest, to put Columbus in their place, as we say, and they didn't. Because of what? Because Tata Martino was nervous. They were up a man, and Tata Martino didn't want. He brought David Ruiz. He brought another central defender. He didn't go and look for more goals, having Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez. That's why I'm gonna die on this hill. This win is on Lionel Messi. Because if Messi didn't score those 2 goals, we would have been talking differently, because after Messi was tired, Luis Suarez was tired after the 60 minutes, and Tata Martino didn't do anything to get the team more in attack. It is what it is.
Jose Armando's still in there. You have the ultimate possession player in the world in Lionel Messi. Yes, but this Lionel Messi is not at his sharpest, and he lost balls just as much as he made good plays. So
we're not going to agree. I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. This for me is a problem that Tata Martino has. And it's a problem that Inter Miami has, because until he figures that out, they're always going to have problems. Even though they have Messi, they are always going to have problems. For me, I don't agree 100% with you that they are going to steamroll to MLS Cups.
If Messi returns to his level. If Messi returns to his level.
Tactics, for me, personally, in this moment, analyzing the way that he plays, I don't think that the team will go to win MLS Cup if he doesn't change it for the better. If he does, if he finds a way, then yes, they are heavy favorites to win MLS Cup. But in what I've seen in the field, since Messi is back, the Tata's tactics haven't been good. And you in the game yesterday, you had Messi with the 2 amazing goals, but you also had you countered with a lot of luck. Cucho Hernandez missing his penalty, the red card.
Wow, luck, Andrea, man, and that's That's a wild take, man. So Inter Miami lucked their way to a victory yesterday. That's what you're saying.
No,
Inter
I'm not
Miami
saying
lucked.
I'm saying they had luck. What if Cucho Hernandez had tied the game? What would have Tata done? Do you think Inter Miami would have gone up again?
What if Ian Frey didn't raise his hand? What if Noah Allen didn't raise his hand?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the clear the chance that they had to tie the game. What do you think, analyzing Tata Martino's tactics, that he would have done differently? Do you think Tata Martino would have brought Robert Taylor in attack to score to look for the fourth goal?
If they needed a fourth goal, yes. Right? Because Inter Miami doesn't gain anything from losing the match if they're at 3-3, right? So they can go push for another goal, especially with the
Then why wait till that moment if you were winning 3-1
his bet
before the penalty?
Su apuesta was on closing the game out. He bet on closing it out. That's
Columbus has 10 men.
That's what his bet
was.
You have
Messi and Suarez.
It's a style. It's a style. You're judging because you don't agree with the style. You don't agree with the approach. But it was effective. It was effective. All right, we will continue on. There's a lot still to talk about here. And I'm not trying to go over the hour and 10 because we started late today. Let's look at behind the scenes. Jorge Mas gave a speech to Inter Miami. It's in Spanish, folks. So if you don't understand Spanish, well, I'll do my best to highlight the biggest talking points here. But this is Jorge Mas' speech post-game in the locker room to Inter Miami as they were celebrating their Supporters' Shield victory.
Porque desde el comienzo de este sueño de club, hace apenas 5 años, esto es lograr el sueño. Gracias a cada uno de ustedes, porque cada uno ha aportado de su parte por hoy ser el mejor club de la MLS del 2024. Súper merecido, sufrido con cojones, pero súper bien, ¿ok? Nos queda mucho, oye, 2 partidos más, hacemos la historia de la MLS para terminar la temporada y después para la Copa de la MLS. Oye, de corazón, gracias, ¿ok?
Sufrimos, what do you say? Sufrimos con, what do you say? He used a very con cojones. Sufrimos como cojones. Yeah, but he used a very Cuban term there, which was funny. I think Messi had a smirk as he said that. But I take note that Jorge Mas finished that. I mean, he does say, thank you from the bottom of my heart. But before he says that, he says, we've got 2 more games to set the points record, and then we're going for MLS Cup. He wants that points record. It's clear. He did the same, I think, on the Ian Frey was being interviewed post-game by a sideline reporter. And Jorge Mas, gave him an applause because obviously Ian Frey's story is a remarkable one. 3 ACL injuries, comes back and has been a key role player in Inter Miami's success this year. But Jorge Mas applauds him, and then he was invited to be interviewed, and Jorge Mas again reiterates that they want to set the points record, as well as, of course, win MLS Cup. Which is a very quick question for you, Andrea. Do you see a rotation of players during these final 2 games? They're meaningless for Inter Miami, aside from the fact that they can set the all-time point record if they win. Which, by the way, before you answer that, Inter Miami will be playing 2 of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference, Toronto FC this weekend, and then the New England Revolution in the season finale. The New England Revolution are in 14th place. Toronto FC is in 9th, fighting for a playoff spot. Combined, as you can see here by the table on the screen, they have negative 48 goal difference between the 2 of them. Toronto at negative 20, New England at negative 28.
Listen, for me,
do you expect some rotation?
It's in the bag now with these 2 horrible teams. I would expect it for it to be in the bag. Listen, rotating players, I thought now that they won in Columbus, that's a real possibility. But also we have to think that Lionel Messi needs minutes, and he's going to go and play with Argentina, that qualifier. So he needs minutes. I expect to see Messi playing in Toronto just because of that, because he has to have rhythm to go with his national team that has 2 important games on this FIFA window. They play Venezuela and Bolivia, Venezuela away and Bolivia in Buenos Aires. So Messi needs those minutes if he wants to play in the national team, if he wants to start, because we saw on the September window that Argentina did well without him. So he needs to be top shape to go there. So I expect him to play on Saturday in Toronto. I expect him. They all travel, so I expect him to be there, to be in the starting 11. As for other players, Redondo is not gonna be available, so I think we're gonna see Gressel back. That's rotación obligada because Redondo is out with yellow cards, and I think we're gonna see Gressel back in the team, and maybe some changes in defense. I don't think they need a back five in Toronto, right? So I think we're gonna see a back four, and Busquets is gonna return to the middle of the field, and they're going to return to that 4-3-3. And
so
we're gonna.
who are your center backs?
Huh?
Who are your center backs then?
Sergi Christoph and Tomás Avilés, or Tomás Avilés and Ian Frank.
Who? So what player just got suspended for this weekend's match? Was it Ian Frey?
Or was it Ian Frey? It was Federico Redondo.
Fede Redondo.
I
feel like maybe Noah Allen.
I have to check. No, Allen, no, because Noah.
No, he just missed.
Yes, exactly. So I could see them returning to a back four. They don't need a back five against Toronto, and Bernardeschi is suspended because they collapsed yesterday. And I'm not gonna lie, I think when you have a cheating head coach, you kind of deserve what you get with Toronto. But they're still fighting to get that playoff play-in. I don't know what the hell do they call it. 9 possession. So.
William Hernandez in the comment section. I don't know if he's related to Cucho Hernandez, but I think he agrees with you. He says Tata did not know how to react in that game against Columbus a few weeks ago and lost in the second half. The difference this time was Messi.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But I think we see I think we see an alternative formation, but I think we're gonna see Messi, and we're gonna see him definitely because he has to have rhythm to go with Argentina. I think the changes are going to be the players that are suspended. And
Soccer fan number 8 says, if Cucho did not miss the penalty kick, it would have been a different outcome. A lot of what ifs, Andrea. The result is what mattered. Inter Miami won, like it or not. Again. I mean, never mind. Julian Gressel didn't start this game. So, I mean, that we always jokingly say Julian Gressel's before Lionel Messi in the lineup, and he didn't even start in this game. And this was a big matchup. So it wasn't pretty, but it was effective. I do give Tata his credit. Not just for last night, but over the course of the season. He's gotten Inter Miami to perform as consistently as they have. Look, let's look at the standings, actually. Let's look at the standings just so you can see it before your eyes. With 2 games left in the regular season, this is what Inter Miami looks like. They have clinched the Supporters' Shield. They have won 20 games. They have tied 8. They've only lost 4 times in the regular season. Scored a grand total of 72 goals, giving up 47, a plus 25 goal differential. Those are pretty nice numbers. Maybe not the goals against, but overall, those are some pretty numbers for Inter Miami. Some very aesthetically pleasing, muy bonitos. Esos números, esas estadísticas. Tata Martino deserves a lot of credit for that. Messi was not around for much of the season. He found a way to get this team playing as consistently as they have, even in the dog days of summer. Andrea, you and Jose, and I include myself, I did not have them winning the Supporters' Shield this year. Did not think that was happening. I did have them winning MLS Cup. That's still my prediction. I still think that they will get the job done. They'll probably have some challenges along the way. I don't think it's going to be smooth sailing. I said if Messi gets back to his best form, that it will be smooth sailing, but I don't think it's going to get back to that level of dominance. So I think they're going to have their challenges in the playoffs, but I still think they get it done. But all the same, regards to the regular season, which is not what they will ultimately be decided on or by, Tata Martino has done a magnificent job. Will Nancy will win MLS Coach of the Year most likely, just because of the Columbus Crew and what they've competed for and played for this year in different competitions. But Tata Martino deserves his votes as well, because he's done a very good job. Like it or not, stylistically, he has gotten results. However it's had to happen when it's meant. So bigger test to wait in the playoff, and we will reassess there. But for right now,
did you forget Leagues Cup and Champions Cup?
Leagues Cup, they already won Leagues Cup. I didn't.
Champions Cup.
Champions Cup, I never had them winning Champions Cup. You got
No, but their performance is there, right? Because you're saying Will Fernandes had better performances.
We're not going back to Champions Cup.
That's a problem, Franco.
Because we're gonna
live in the moment. You don't analyze the bigger
picture.
picture. You live in the moment.
The moment. Look at the record. Look at the record. I just gave you
most fans do.
I just gave you their overall record for the entire season.
Or the season. The season. What's the entire record for the season? Super Shield. How many competitions did they have?
They played Leagues Cup, which they lost to the Columbus Crew, which again is one of the top teams in MLS. And in the Champions Cup, they played Mexican teams, which are better than them. So I didn't expect them. Oh, you and Jose expected them. I don't understand. Like you guys kind of contradict yourself. You didn't expect Inter Miami to win trophies.
No, you're talking about Tata Martino being the greatest head coach in MLS this season.
I did not say he's the greatest head coach. I did not say he's the greatest head coach.
So I'm just telling you, teams that if you see the whole year of Inter Miami Supporter Shield, yes, it's a nice trophy that's given by supporters. It's not given by US Soccer or MLS, and they have that, but. They did really win the other official trophies that they had? No, they didn't. So when they win the MLS
Look at
Cup,
that picture.
It will be different.
Picture. Look at that. Look at that. Jorge Mas looking at Tata Martino like he wants to give him a big old smooch. Look at that. Look at those eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at that happiness. Speaking of happiness, look at this happiness from Lionel Messi. Oh, man, this is a fantastic picture. Fantastic picture. Probably the best picture from the night, probably. Look how happy Messi is. Look at Jorge Mas.
No, the best picture is Jordi Alba, Luis Suarez, and Messi. Yeah,
I don't know, man. Look at this one. Look at La Alegría. The other one, it's nice, but they're just posing for a picture. This is a little more, authentic, a little less planned, right? Like they're celebrating there. Although that product placement by Messi, man, that is, I tweeted about that. That is incredible. His new energy drink, his new not energy drink, sports drink called Mas Plus. He's holding it in his left hand. He's next to Jorge Mas. And I don't think it was called Mas because of Jorge Mas, but it just goes with both of them very well. I did also tweet, can't imagine that Body Armor, MLS's official sports drink sponsor. I can't imagine that they're very happy with this image and why Messi has his own drink as opposed to a Body Armor drink, which would probably be rules according to MLS. But Messi does what he wants. So there's a lot of good pictures.
There's nice, there are nice pictures from yesterday. For me, that's the nicest picture, and there's one better that has the best player on the team. Now I'm joking. One with David Ruiz in the middle of them four was very, very pretty too. They had good pictures. I think they enjoyed it. It was so funny to me because in the media availability, Chelo Wagan said, "Oh, we didn't celebrate," and like, come on, man, your own team published the photos and the videos of everything, and he's coming out and saying, "No, we didn't celebrate because the job is still not done. This just means having home advantage in the playoffs." But they were celebrating in that. That's a very American tradition, though. That happens in NBA, happens in baseball, and it's a very American tradition to have a celebration with the locker room covered in plastic and all of that. So it's trophy number 46 for Lionel Messi, right? And I think they celebrated and everyone enjoyed, especially for the players that are not called Messi, Busquets, or Alba. I think this trophy means more to them than what it means to the Cuatro Fantásticos, right? Because I think they have it very present that this only means that they had the best record of the regular season, that they haven't won the real thing.
Soccer fan number 8 says Los Cuatro Fantásticos.
For me, that was the picture of the night. Because
it is a very good picture. It's a very nice picture. They've been through so much in their careers together at Barcelona, now at Inter Miami. Who would have thought? Who had this image in their head 2 years ago? Who would have thought that you would have seen not only Messi, but Messi, Suarez, Busquets, and Jordi Alba sitting together in Inter Miami colors, celebrating their regular season triumph? Who had that on their bingo cards? Incredible. Again, there's a lot of nice images from last night. Now, this one of the entire team, or the entire team that was present, which was most of the group. A few players missing: Nicolas Freire, Facundo Farias, two of the players that are out sidelined. Is Facundo there?
Yes, Facundo and
he is
Freire
there.
were there. Yeah.
But
Facundo
somebody
and
was
Freire
missing.
were.
David Martinez was missing.
David Martinez was missing, yes.
David Martinez was missing. I feel like somebody else was missing, though. Somebody else was not there.
But Freire and Facu were there, yes.
They were. So somebody was missing, though. Anyway, but yes,
No,
a lot of nice images from last
yeah,
night.
Inter Miami fans, they
It was a nice night to celebrate, a nice night to enjoy.
They have to be happy. They have to be happy. Listen, they're a club that's only has 4 years of existence, so they have to enjoy everything that they get, especially because when Messi retires, when Messi leaves, you're not gonna have a player like that anymore in the league. So it doesn't matter if people from Columbus Crew or Cincinnati, LA Galaxy, etc.
Look at the money man, Andrea. Look at the money man. Jorge and Josema celebrating with the trophy. It was a good moment for Inter Miami yesterday. A nice moment. The fans that went to Chase Stadium to watch the game from the screens there were able to celebrate into the night. It was a very positive night for Inter Miami. A very nice night. A thrilling game. Was it, quickly, Andrea, quickly, was it an MLS classic, last night's game? An all-time classic in MLS?
No.
The answer is yes. With Messi, the answer is yes. With Messi involved, the answer is yes. And the game had a lot of twists and turns, red cards, no calls, the offside on Chelo Weigand. Well, I don't think it was.
I don't know.
I don't know. Gomez.
If you think about the whole MLS, if you only became a fan of MLS since Messi come, then yes.
If Messi's involved and the game is that entertaining,
let me tell you something. A team from Miami has had MVPs before. It's
Correct.
Not the first time. I want to remind people that the MVP of Miami, the only MVP for Miami and MLS team in Miami is Alex Pineda Chacon. So it is what it is. MLS is not only 2 years old.
I guarantee you won't have to remind people that Lionel Messi, was a star player for Inter Miami 20 years from now, like you just did for Pinaca. It's an all-time classic. Last night game, from a neutral standpoint.
You're very hincha like Franco. That's the truth. You get excited. You are crying watching photos of Jorge Mas and everything.
The game was great.
Seriously?
I'm sharing content with the listeners and the viewers. It was a nice.
You're about to cry here, calling it a classic when you had a lot of classic players in MLS in the old days.
Well, you know what we are going to talk about as we start to wrap up the show is that there are reports now that because Inter Miami is the Supporter Shield winners, that they now have the berth to the Club World Cup. Now, that's not been made official, but we have long time speculated that that MLS was waiting for Inter Miami to either win the Supporter Shield or win MLS Cup to say, okay, this is the way that we're determining that berth to the Club World Cup. Well, now that they've won, the Supporter Shield as the best team in the regular season, well, now MLS can come out and say, okay, we're giving it to.
No, they haven't come on and said.
But let's say they can now. Now they can, right? Now the wait, is over.
And it's not MLS. I want to clarify that it's not MLS. It's FIFA. That MLS recommends a team, and FIFA has to give the okay.
MLS makes the rules in their league of, okay, yeah, we're going to give it to
That's a big topic. That's a big topic. It's really unfair if Inter Miami gets that post. It's really unfair.
They're going to get it, man. They're going to get it. There's no.
Yeah, just because of the money. Let's talk what it is. Just about the money, because Tato Martino, I've been asking this.
Hold on.
The whole year. And he had the audacity to say, we have sporting merit now that we won the Supporter Shield.
And that's where I'm going. We're going to share that clip first, and then we can talk about it. This is Tata Martino talking about Inter Miami's potential passage into the Club World Cup.
No, bueno, pasa que de alguna manera vamos cumpliendo objetivos, pero la realidad es que tenemos la mente puesta en poder llegar al 7 de diciembre, que eso es lo que queremos. No es un tema menor el de hoy, porque empezamos a justificar por qué podría Inter de Miami ir al Mundial de Clubes. Y esto es lo que a mí me da tranquilidad. Es decir, Inter, a partir de los nombres que tiene, podía empezar a verse como un equipo potable para ser electo. Pero a mí me parece mucho más justo que logremos eso a través de méritos deportivos. Y hoy hemos logrado eso, tener el mérito deportivo.
All right, Andrea, have at it. I know you were
No.
chomping at the bit.
It,
Have at it.
it,
Go ahead.
it will be really disgraceful for FIFA to award this place to Inter Miami because let's explain to people how teams have qualified for this Club World Cup, playing international tournaments, winning international tournaments. And Inter Miami has not won. The real international tournament they played, they got destroyed by Monterrey. So it's really unfair. They had the chance to win that place there and they didn't. So it's really unfair that right now they could get it before other teams that have been winning consistently in the last couple of years. So if MLS and US Soccer and FIFA had said that the guideline was winning the Supporter Shield to qualify to the Club World Cup, we would have been talking about something else, right? But they didn't. And these rumors, this whole media insights begin coming today after Inter Miami wins the Supporter Shield. It's a little bit fishy, right? And the Club World Cup has always had someone invited, especially when it began rotating las sedes. But the team that was invited was the team that wins the league, the local league. So I can understand fans being mad, and I can understand the criticism that Inter Miami is going to receive, because really they should have been won in the field, like Pachuca did, like Seattle Sounders did, like León did, and like Monterrey did. They won the Champions Cup, and they won it on the field. Inter Miami was not even close and were ridiculed in the Champions Cup. So for me to Tata...
Thanks to David Ruiz. Thanks to David Ruiz.
No, David Ruiz. David Ruiz was the game here and in Monterrey. What did they do?
They had to go play with a goal disadvantage.
They played 11 versus 11, but they didn't earn it.
I agree with you. I agree with you that this should have been defined. And we talked about this before, but let's it's again, the subject has come up, conversations here. This should have been defined before the season, or at some point early into the season. This is how this berth is going to be awarded. Make it clear, make it fair, give it the sporting reason. But Andrea, you and I know we are not blind to the reality of the situation, as I am sure most people are. I mean, Inter Miami fans probably.
So I don't want Inter Miami fans come and when it's announced and come and tell me, "Oh, we qualified to the World Cup." Please, man. Please.
Well, Inter Miami
you were gifted a place in the Club World Cup.
I mean, it would have been I would have been curious to see what would have happened had Inter Miami not.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because the rumor started swirling. Tata said that in the press conference, and the rumor and people who have personal relationships with Messi were making it official today. So what would have happened if Columbus won? Because let's talk about Columbus is the champion of MLS of last year. They won Leagues Cup. They went to the CONCACAF Champions Final. So in what happens in Europe when the champion has already qualified, thus el subcampeón is the one that goes and represents the who takes that place. So in theory, it should be the runner-up. Yeah, the runner-up. In theory, it should have been Columbus, because Columbus was the runner-up against Pachuca. So U.S. Soccer should have said, "Oh, you know what? Columbus was the runner-up. Columbus is gonna take that place."
That's not how it works here
in the World Cup. But here in MLS,
they have to grow the game. They've got to grow the game.
Exactly.
That means bring in as many dollar bills as possible.
Yes,
it is true that Inter Miami, of all the freaking teams in MLS, is going to be the one that draws the most eyeballs because of Messi, because of the star power. So that part you can't deny. But it should have been made clear from the beginning. Sports is supposed to be fair. There's supposed to be a competitive. There's supposed to be a competitive balance, right? And clearly, with how MLS operates and what they want, and there's still a league that's growing, they were always going to try to favor Inter Miami's berth to the Club World Cup. It came through for them with Inter Miami winning the club, the Supporter Shield. So now it's very easy. They come out and say in a few weeks' time, oh, well, it's the winner of the Supporter Shield that gets it. So there you go. I mean, Columbus Crew fans have every right.
No, not only Columbus, everyone.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Because even the LA Galaxy, who are close in the table, Inter Miami is going to win the Supporter Shield, but it's not like by 20 points. A big difference, right? So the teams who were close were gonna end up with less than 5 or 10 points from Inter Miami. That makes it LAFC, Real Salt Lake, etc. They should be pretty mad because they didn't have that opportunity. They didn't know that opportunity, and it's really not fair. And it really doesn't grow the game because let's be serious, Inter Miami competing in the Club World Cup.
Let it out.
It's not going to be pretty.
It's not going to be pretty. I'm not saying that it's going to be
no,
pretty.
Franco, please. No, no te aguanto si me vas a decir que Inter Miami va a ir a hacer algo al Mundial de Clubes.
I am not saying that Inter Miami is going to have a good showing. I am making this clear. I am not saying that. All I was going to say is, careful what you say, Andrea, because on this podcast, especially as of late, you've been saying some things and it doesn't go your way, Andrea. So,
I right with Champions Cup?
Pump the brakes.
I right with Champions Cup? I feel like you only bring up the negative. Was I right about Champions Cup?
Who had them winning Champions Cup?
Was I right?
Who had them going far in Champions Cup?
You would spend the whole podcast after the game that David was at fault, that they were eliminated because of David. They could have gone, blah, blah, blah. Columbus went to the same field and humiliated Monterrey. Inter Miami didn't.
Kyle says, but why hate? Miami made it through marketing and sporting merit. Sure, but that should have been defined beforehand. It should have been defined beforehand what the sporting merit was to get to the Club World Cup. The fact that now it'll come out after the fact is like you're being selective. You're just picking and choosing who you want to go, right? Like, you know, if you had 3 kids and you're all right,
because
all 3 of you, one of you gets to go to Disney World. One of you gets to go to Disney World, but I'm not going to tell you who gets to go to Disney World or how you get to go to Disney World. Just be how you are, and that's it. And then everyone's like, oh, well, the little one's going to go because clearly he's the favorite. And at the end,
through marketing, none of the other teams made it through marketing.
The little one did his chores the fastest, so the little one gets to go. It's like, well, how the hell were we supposed to know what we're supposed to do? Like, you know, I mean, maybe it's a terrible analogy, but I tried. It's late.
No, but none other team, listen, of the 32 teams that are going to go 30 are already qualified, and they earned that. Not because of marketing. They earned that because of the results in a field.
Tony Atkins right here. He says Garber publicly mentioned that they were considering supportership of the MLS Cup months ago. Correct. But the key word is there that they're considering. That's considering. So that is like if Inter Miami had like they clearly were considering that because they think Inter Miami's chances of one of the two is high, right? So that's why they were considering it. Now, if Inter Miami had fallen short of that, would they still be in the Club World Cup? I bet that they would have. And they would have found some justification, some rationale for it. It would have been scandalous. Now it's a little less scandalous. It's still a little scandalous to me because, but now it's less scandalous because, like Tata Martino just said in that clip, well, now they have some sporting merit to point to as to why
they lost.
But anyway, all right.
They lost. Real Madrid, Manchester City, PSG, everyone won in the field in international tournaments. Only Inter Miami is going to be there because of marketing.
That's a cool shirt, Franco. It yells out kick. Kick Messi, kick a goal, and he did it. Soccer fan number 8. Thank you for the compliment on the shirt. This is a throwback. I've had this for probably a decade now. All right, we'll start to wrap up the show. We definitely have to give Drake Callender his props. You know, we talked about the penalty kick, but we did not go into it in too much detail. But again, it was not a great penalty kick from Cucho Hernandez, which you're surprised by in that type of moment from the Colombian striker who's been lethal for so long here in MLS, or for a good long stretch here in MLS. But Drake Callender gets the right way. He makes another big stop in another decisive moment for Inter Miami in another massive game. He did it last year in the Leagues Cup final, and then he does it here. This is what he had to say about his penalty kick stop.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be ready for anything in these games, especially, when like the stakes are high, to be able to again, come up big with the save. I haven't made a penalty save. Like I haven't made many penalty saves this year, so I was like, I at least got to make one or the two tonight, and fortunately, I was able to. And yeah, again, to be able to contribute to the team like this and help win another trophy is really, really good feeling. And we're gonna enjoy this tonight and the next few days, and then we still have more goals to go after into playoffs and MLS Cup and everything.
A nice moment for Drake Callender, who recently became a father for the first time. So again, so many flowers to give out. So we could have a 2-hour show to talk about all the players that stepped up. I mean, Noah Allen was called and Ian Frey. They were both called for penalty kicks in this game, but both of them in a big match, high stakes, both still, for the most part, over the course of 90 minutes. If you analyze the totality of their performances, they were solid. They were solid on the day. Even Frey, the dribble, he had at least 2 dribbling runs into the attack with the ball at his feet that were very impressive. I actually saw a question here, and I would like us to answer it, Andrea. I want to hear your response first, actually. I want to hear your response first, because this is a good question. It's not really directly related to this week's show, but Kala asks, Franco has yet to answer, who is the best homegrown? For Kala, it is Benjamin Cremaschi. Andrea, who is the best homegrown to date for Inter Miami?
Ooh. You can give a lot of answers.
There's
but
no
based,
clear-cut answer, right?
based on talent,
we're not talking about talent. So the best.
About performances.
Correct.
I
already have my answer. Te duele no poder decir David Ruiz. Te duele. I see it.
No, I'm just thinking.
I'll go. You want me to go first? What do you think?
Go first.
Noah Allen has been the best homegrown player for Inter Miami in this short, early few years of the team's existence, the franchise's existence. Yeah, he hasn't been wow. Ha sido cumplidor.
That's why I asked you what was the criteria, because based on talent, Ian Frey. Yes, that's what I was going to say. But he has missed a lot of time, but I would choose him before Cremaschi and David. And
we're not talking about talent. We're talking about best. Best means performances.
No Allen has been servicial to the team, but for me, he's not the best. Yes. As has Cremaschi, as has David, I think I'm going to stay with Ian Frey.
But Ian Frey, this is his first year playing.
Yeah, but his performances for me have been not just cumpliendo. His performances have been good when he's been called up to play. Not only this year before he got injured, and
you know what I think it is, Andrea?
Last year, I think his performances were good also.
As you can see from my smile, I'm about to come at you again. I remember it was a while ago now, and this is going to go back. No.
What?
No, for the old school, the long time Miami Total Football radio listeners and viewers, at one point, Andrea and Jose both very, very adamantly debated with me on the show that Harvey Neville had a higher ceiling than Noah Allen.
I still agree with that. What is Noah Allen's ceiling? Do you think he's going to go and play with Manchester United or what?
No tengo nada más que decir. No tengo nada más que decir sobre eso. No tengo nada más que decir. I mean, you're really saying that you still think Harvey Neville is playing second, third division?
He's in USL.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got nothing else to say. I have nothing else.
Ian Frey, to answer. Who was it? I don't remember who was that. Ian Frey, I think, is the best.
Asked the question.
Ian Frey. I think Cremaschi had his moments when he debuted, as David did.
But this year he took a big dip.
Cremaschi has been with his injury and after the disastrous Olympics, he's not been.
Tony acts.
You see, Tony agrees with me. Franco judges because of the the recency bias. That's just what I told you a couple of minutes ago when we were discussing.
I clearly said before I said my pick, there's no clear front runner for this answer.
For me,
Well-
I think Ian Frey is because he has top quality, and there are other players in the academy that have promise or that will be considered homegrown for Inter Miami, like Bright and the guys that were chosen in the draft, Sailor, Lawson Sunderland, and all of those guys that are in the team. But I think the left on the team, Ian Frey is the most talented homegrown player for Inter Miami.
Ian Frey for me, right? And I think we agree on
Mhm.
this. Out of the whole bunch of them so far that have come out of the academy, he's the most talented. He's the most talented. Even with the injuries, he's the most talented. Now, for me, best means performances. Right?
And I also don't agree with you with Noah Allen, because I would put Noah Allen even below David. David is playing with the national team. Noah Allen couldn't even go to the
Goodness
Olympics,
gracious, man.
and David is playing
No, it's not the same
Nations
thing.
League, and
Yeah,
he's
Honduras and the
he's
U.S. men's national
playing-
team are not on the same level.
he's
let's
playing
let's
with
leave
the
it there.
national team. He's playing World Cup qualifiers, and Noah Allen couldn't even make it to the Olympics. Kremaski
The
is
U.S. men's national team's pool
so
is much deeper and more talented than
he
Honduras.
was a player
Stop it.
for the U.S. men's national team, and he couldn't keep up. That's
Stop
what
it there.
I'm saying.
Stop
I think it's right, the commenter that you said that is
No.
recency. What did he say? I don't remember.
Recency bias, but no.
The recency bias, because
Absolutely not.
careers have promises, and Noah still has a step up to make if he wants to be a
Noah
consistent
Allen.
player.
Mira, look, I'll just leave it like this. Noah Allen from 2022. He has played in 43 games. He has started in 24 of them. He's gotten a goal and assist. He's a defender. He was a left back. This year, he's been playing out of position. Smaller player, diminutive for center back. And he has done, by and large, a solid job, an acceptable job in a position that's not his preferred position. And again, there's no clear front runner on this. You could argue Benjamin Kremaski. Somebody else could argue Benjamin Kremaski, and they could have a case. But for me, Noah Allen has been the most consistent, which makes him the best, in my opinion. Now, that doesn't mean he's miles better than everybody else, but I think it's Noah Allen.
I don't see that consistency.
When?
No, it's just my opinion, because
Por
I
eso,
think
bueno.
we both agree that Ian Frey has consistency, right?
He's been consistent, but he hasn't played a whole lot. He's played half of what Noah Allen's played. Noah Allen's
But
played
he's been injured.
43
And in
games.
those half that you have seen better things from Ian Frey than from Noah Allen.
Noah Allen's played 43 games.
How many mistakes did Noah
Ian
commit?
He's playing center back, he's playing out of position. Ian Frey's made mistakes too. And Ian Frey
Let me tell you something. Let me end it up with this discussion. You made the same thing with Christopher McVeigh. You made the same argument that he was the best player one year and he was playing out of position. And you see what happens? When it's me that is right, you don't give me credit. But I'm bringing a throwback just for you to remember.
Christopher McVeigh had a very good season playing at left back.
That you were saying Christopher McVeigh has a future.
He had a good season at left back.
Look at it now.
What are you saying? There's not even a point you made. You didn't even make the point. You just brought up something I said.
You take as players having many starts and playing because of necessity. You equate that for us them being good.
Listen, all I'll say is this: on a supporter shield winning team, where Ian Frey is a center back, Sergei Kristoff is a center back, Tata Martino has more often than not turned to Noah Allen as a center back. For whatever reason, you can agree with
because he's a young player that he can make him play as out of position.
He could play as actual center back at center back. The fact that he plays a guy who's not tall, who doesn't have size, who's not a center back at that position, and Noah Allen has sido cumplidor. I'm not saying he's been a resounding, impressive, standout player, but he has been serviceable in that role. Has he made mistakes? Absolutely. It's not his position. But he overall, over the course of this year, has been a key role player for Inter Miami in that backline. He's been a part. I won't say significant, but he has been a part of the success. Not a small part. He's played a part in the success that the team has had en route to that supportership. So anyway, all right, we'll leave it there because
let's give a top five. I would say my top five, from the ones that are playing now is Ian Frey, then David, then Kremaski, and then Noah Allen.
I'm sorry. Repeat that. Repeat that one more time.
Ian Frey, David Ruiz, Kremaski, and Noah Allen.
Bro. Okay. All right. I'm not even gonna
Give
get
me
into
your
it.
top. Give me your top.
I'm not taking the bait.
Give me your top. You asked a question.
Noah Allen, Kremaski, Frey, Ruiz. Ruiz has had some costly mistakes.
The one in Monterrey, which
Kremaski has not.
How many goals has he scored? How many goals has Kremaski scored?
All right, we'll leave it there. Very quickly, we expect rotation this weekend for Inter Miami at Toronto, but we still expect them to get the job done, yes?
Yes.
And you think it's going to be a back four?
Yes.
Who plays that right back? Ian Frey?
Yeah, I can see Ian Frey starting.
Yeah. Cello Wigan is out with the...
It's suspended also, yeah.
All right, so we've got... So you're saying back four?
Yeah, back four. Yeah.
All right, give me the quick team, and then we already said that Inter Miami was going to win. So just give me your quick lineup, really quickly.
I think Drake will be on the goal. Then we're gonna have Ian Frey. We're gonna have Sergi Christoph and Toto Avilés, Jordi Alba. Then we're gonna have Busquets, Diego Gomez. I think Gressel is gonna be back because if I'm not mistaken, Redondo is out also with yellow cards. Messi and Suarez, and I think Matias Rojas will start.
Where? You just gave me 4. Oh, okay.
No, 4-3-3.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going 5-3-2. I'm going 5-3-2. I think it'll be Frey and Jordi Alba. I think it's going to be Avilés, Allen, Busi. I think in the midfield you've got Bright. You're going to have Gressel. And you're going to have Benjamin Kremaski getting a start, rotating him in. I think Diego Gomez gets to sit this one out just to get some rest, gear up for playoffs. Mm-hmm. And up top is going to be Suarez and Messi.
I don't. The reason I don't think he's going to rotate that much is because the names you mentioned, Diego Gomez is also going with his national team, so he needs minutes before a national team. He doesn't need to be rested. He needs to come with consistent minutes.
Who? Who?
Diego Gomez.
Diego Gomez.
So I don't think he's dropping out. Yeah, I could see it like if Tata doesn't want to make the get the record, I could see him not rotating, but I wouldn't see a future where Messi and Diego Gomez that are called for the national teams to miss this game.
I could see, instead of Suarez, I changed my vote. Messi and Campana.
And Campana is also called up for the national team, or is going to get a call up for the national team. So I could see him playing. I could see national team players getting an opportunity. I could also see David getting an opportunity because he's also getting a call up. So I think Tata can go with that. I think he also can go with a back five, as he said, but against Toronto without Bernardeschi, I don't think he should play a back five. I don't think he should do it, but we'll see. We'll see what is his way of thinking and how does he analyze this game, especially because we have our own analysis as if players need minutes before going to their national teams, but he may have another analysis and we won't know because media availability is until tomorrow, right? So stay tuned for that because maybe we have a little bit of more information.
Messi and Campana. That's my pick. And yes, Inter Miami wins all the same. All right, we will leave it there. It's been a long one, but worthy of all the chatter, worthy of all the analysis.
Thank you to everyone, and keep enjoying the Shield because fans that have been wanting this team and to have this team, now is your moment to enjoy because you never know when you can return to being what Inter Miami was a year ago, or return to be what New England is right now after getting the record in the Supporters Shield. So you need to enjoy the moments when they happen because football is about moments and about cycles and about that. So you need to enjoy. And I'm very happy that you get to enjoy this team and that you will get to enjoy them being a home team on the playoffs.
Hi, Andrea. All right.
What
We will
happened?
leave it there. We will leave it. No, we'll leave
I
it
was
there.
I was telling people to celebrate. What's the problem?
You're saying that they could go back to being what they were.
You don't
last-
know. That's I'm telling them
Yeah.
to enjoy that now. That's
Yeah.
a fact in life and in football, Franco.
Okay. I mean,
Every
know
team
what's
cannot
the
be
score
Real
chart.
Madrid or whatever.
All right. We'll leave it there. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for viewing. Thank you guys for chiming in. Thank you for being here to hear Andrea's mea culpa, which we didn't really get. We got a half-assed one, but it's all right. We'll take it. We'll take it. It's a step in the right direction. We'll wait till MLS Cup. If Inter Miami can seal the deal, then Andrea will be here saying she was wrong and Tata Martino is the man, and we'll see what else we can get out of it. But all right, we'll leave it there for now. We will be back next week, some point after the Toronto FC game before the international break. Again, give us a like, a comment, a share, a subscribe, a review, a follow, all of the above. It helps us out tremendously. Thank you guys for staying late with us. It has been a late episode and a long episode of Miami Futbol Radio After Hours. So for Andrea Llanes, I am Franco Panizo. Have a great night, everybody. Enjoy, savor, celebrate the Supporter Shield because there are bigger fish to fry in the coming weeks. And we will talk to you very, very soon.